Hi, everyone. I'm Gisselle de Leaon, and I'm here today with Raquel Garcia, Cynthia Perez, and Juliana Baratta. We will be presenting Fostering Humanism During COVID-19. COVID-19 has drastically impacted the human connection among patients and clinicians as the healthcare system is extremely overwhelmed. Clinicians are experiencing extensive burnout due to the influx of COVID-19 hospitalizations, emotional interactions with patients and families with limited visitation opportunities, and an increase in demand for personal protective equipment, also known as PPE. To overcome this drastic barrier, many clinicians are adopting innovative strategies, which we discovered through our two research questions. First, how are providers feeling about connecting with their patients during COVID-19? And secondly, how are providers addressing barriers to connection caused by COVID-19? I'll now pass it to Cynthia to discuss our methods.
Thanks, Gisselle. For our methods, we conducted a qualitative analysis of 200 social media posts, all of which we gathered using a structured snowball sampling approach that leveraged hashtags to identify relevant content. A few of these hashtags we used are listed here on the slide. These posts were collected from providers in the United States and Canada on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter between the months of March 24th to May 21st of 2020. We then analyzed the post of emerging themes surrounding patient-provider connection and any of the success stories, pain points, and/or strategies. Now Raquel will lead us into the results from our research questions.
Thanks, Cynthia. Our findings fell under two main themes for each research question. The first theme of our first research question is PPE creating a physical barrier to connection. Patients are already scared about being treated for COVID-19, but not being able to see the faces of their providers can create additional barriers to forming trust between the patient and provider. One provider said, "I don't like the extra barriers because I miss that personal connection with you, but for now, this is how it has to be." The second theme is providers feeling anguish over patients dying alone. Due to safety precautions and restrictions on visitations, patients are not able to be with their families and loved ones during their final moments. One provider said, "Do you know what the most dramatic feeling is? Watching patients die alone, listening to them begging you to greet children and grandkids. It's like they're drowning, but with plenty of time to figure it out." These powerful emotions are causing providers to look for new ways to connect with their patients, which leads me into the second research question. The first theme is utilizing technology to foster connection, whether to listen to the patient's favorite song together through their phone or give their patient just a few minutes of connection with their loved ones over FaceTime. One provider said, "She was a granny, wanted to see her granddaughter. I pulled out my phone and called on video. They said goodbye shortly after she left." Our second theme is finding creative strategies to express emotion. Various forms of poetry, art, and music have been used, as well as PPE portraits, which are photos of a provider's unmasked, smiling face that can be pinned to the outside of their PPE to show who the person is under all those layers. We have an example of this in the image on the right. One provider said, "It felt so nice to finally show him that under this suit is a real person who is striving to get him better and send him home to his family." And I'll now pass it over to Juliana to discuss the rest of our results.
Thanks, Raquel. So based on our results, COVID-19 has truly spurred clinicians to innovate new ways of connecting with patients and families. Based on the posts that we found, several recommendations emerged, including exploring and leveraging elements that make us human, including community and family connections, art, faith, and expressions of empathy. Provider experiences are strategies that can guide future protocols in maintaining quality of care in future healthcare crises. This work would not be possible without the funding through the Gordon and Betty Moore Foundation and seed grant funding, along with our interdisciplinary team at Presence 5.